here's what I will say. I just talked to Brett Favre
Personally?
personally,
'Cause
and
he will talk to any reporter or
Yes.
TV personality or analyst.
and I'm kind of paraphrasing here, but he said something to the effect of, "How y'all like me now?" Ha 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 ha.
He
No,
didn't drop a biatch.
he should have. Brett Favre took more heat and more crap than any great player has ever taken. And what did he do? He just has come out and he's borderline the best player in the league this year, except for, if he's not
That's a pretty wide borderline.
well, I don't know. I've watched these games. He's been every bit as good as Peyton Manning.
Well, let's just say he's not what we thought he was going to be coming in. Where we thought he was just going to be handing the ball off to Adrian Peterson every play.
Right. And
I mean,
if anything, Peterson has kind of taken Peterson's numbers are suffering a little bit because it's great to run the ball and they've done it well, but you don't go anywhere running the ball in this league unless you can pass. If you can't pass in the NFL, you're done. Okay, let's put it this way. You either have to be able to pass the ball or you need to play incredible defense. Where you have teams like the Ravens and the Bucks who have won Super Bowls on defense. But generally, you need a great quarterback to win the Super Bowl. Or in the case of the Steelers, you need to play weak opponents like the Cardinals and
The
Seahawks. Because I don't know what happened. The Steelers get to the finals, and it's like, hey, here's the Seahawks.
Has there been a less memorable Super Bowl in this generation?
Then Steelers-Seahawks?
Steelers-Seahawks.
No, that was pretty bad.
And the best part is, after the game, didn't the Seahawks fans convince themselves that the only reason they lost is because the refs took it away from them?
Yeah, well, the Seahawks could have won that game for sure. But I'm not sure, but I don't think that our local viewers are tuning in to see us talk about Seahawks Steelers from 2005.
Well, it's
At
helping
least it's
them.
not Bucks Raiders.
It's helping them remember that the Seahawks were in the Super Bowl.
It is kind of shocking. What else happened while I was gone? I was back. I shortly after I got back, locally, whole lot of Lotta.
You want to talk about a team that either can't pass or won't pass? I believe they've thrown about 24 passes all season.
Fairhaven High.
Yeah,
I've never understood why. Apparently the best passing team we have around here is Voc Tech. Mm-hmm. I talked to Buddy Thomas. He says that their quarterback he says he's one of the best quarterbacks he's ever seen play around here. And they're 0-7. So it's just high school football,
Well, it kind of goes back to what you were saying, where you have to be able to pass the ball, but you do need to have that running game to complement that, and that's where they've been.
Well, in high school, you don't have to pass the ball.
Yeah.
You just have to. High school is all about running and defense. College, it's like as you go up the scale, you have to pass more and more to succeed. Like Pee Wee football, I don't even think they know how to pass. I don't think they even teach them.
I don't even think they keep score.
Patriots. What did we learn during their bye week about them? Not much.
No, it's kind of hard to.
Although they played that last game with their young kids on defense have really been incredible, and it kind of makes you feel like they just, without anyone even paying attention, they turn into a great defense. They looked fantastic the last 2 weeks, and if they can beat Miami, I don't think is going to be that hard to beat because you know what Miami is going to do. Although they can pass the ball, generally they want to run the ball, and I think the Patriots will stop them. I'd say the Patriots win that game 2006.
Is there a mini Ditka involved in that?
Mini Ditka, 2006.
I don't even know who's playing quarterback for the Dolphins.
It's Chad Henne.
Henne.
I know. I'm just saying it's such an afterthought.
Who has looked
now.
pretty good, although the Jets completely took him out of the game. That's the thing. The Dolphins are coming off a win, but the Jets completely manhandled them in that game. If it weren't for Ted Ginn's kick returns, the Jets win that game hands down.
I think that as much as the Dolphins were supposed to be defending the division crown.
That's right. Theoretically, they won it last year.
Yeah, theoretically. But it kind of seemed from the beginning of the season like they were taking a step back already.
Yeah, although, you know what? They've played about as good as they played last year. They haven't. Last year they had the super easy schedule. They had a couple breaks. You know, they're a pretty good team, and a pretty good team in the NFL can go 11-5 or can go 5-11. It's the great teams that, you know, win 12, 13
And that's
games
the
and they
problem
stay
now,
there.
is there's a great team ahead of them now, where there wasn't necessarily last season.
Yeah, the Dolphins, they were fortunate to be in the playoffs last year. Coach, your thoughts go.
I guess I just look back at the two games against Tampa and Tennessee, and I wonder what can we really take from those games? You know, you're talking about the defense playing better. I mean, it will clearly help their confidence to be rolling the way.
Well,
that
they shut out
were.
the Titans, but the Titans just came back and they put 30 points on the board. So
And the Titans quit halfway through that game too. So.
halfway through might be charitable, I think.
And they made a pretty significant change in the way they were doing things too.
Well, they did, but yeah, the Titans and Bucks are bad teams, and they whipped them. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
This is a stretch of the season where we're really going to find out what the Patriots are, because they've got.
Yeah.
It's not so much Miami, it's Indy and it's New Orleans and.
Right. They will be tested many times, but they're not going to, like last year when they played the tough teams with Castle. Generally, they were getting beaten. They lost pretty hard to the Steelers, and when they played the tough teams, they were outmatched. This year, they're not going to be outmatched. They might not win,
despite the fact that they really don't have a run game.
It depends. It depends on what you consider a run game. Last year, their running game was excellent because they said we need to focus on the run game. This year, it seems like they're just they use the running game as a pawn, basically. Mm-hmm. You know, we need to get 3 yards. We need to take a few seconds off the clock. We're using it, but their running game is Welker.
True.
Their running game is the short passing game. It's not as easy as saying, well, their running game is not as good as it was last year or the year before. It's not, but at the same time, they don't really need it to be great. You know, Maroney, has he been good? No. For one thing, I don't really understand is why they don't give Falk more of a chance to just do it. Mm-hmm. Like, why not?
There was a season where he did, and he did pretty well.
He was okay. I mean, I think he could get more early carries. You know, maybe put him out there at the beginning of games instead of using Maroney at the start. Start with Falk and come off the bench with Maroney if you need him. You don't want to give Falk 25 carries because, you know, he's in his 30s and you want to keep him fresh. But, you know, I think it makes some sense to put Falk in there early. Plus, it's even that much more of a weapon in the passing game, which they want to establish early. So, you know, it's fun. It's odd to me that they didn't, you know, they lost Morris and Taylor, and they said,
yeah, we'll go with Maroney and Green Ellis.
This is fine.
How do you see losing Jarvis Green affecting him?
You know, not much, probably.
Really?
I don't think so. He wasn't really. I mean, they use so many guys. They're throwing so many guys out there. It's just he was another pretty good player. It hurts their depth a little bit. But as long as he's going to be back for the playoffs, I almost think that Belichick, I feel like he's handling this team like, okay, we're going to go to the playoffs. We don't need to panic game to game. We're going to play with what we have. We're going to get our guys healthy, and we're going to see who we have. You know, I think he just says, okay, who do we have this week? All right, well, let's do this, this, this. That's the great, you know, his versatility and his willingness to say, we're not a running team that does this all the time, or we're not this, we're not this. His ability to say we're whoever we need to be based on what we have and who we're playing.
It's compartmentalizing each week and viewing the regular season as what it is, a means to get to the postseason.
Right, which is, you know, that's why you kind of can't look at this team like you look at other teams because they don't do it that way. Maybe it's a luxury that they have because they've got the record of success and they've got the franchise quarterback. I don't know.
And they're in the division that
they're in a weaker division.
Helps.
I don't think this division is weak at all.
Really? Weaker?
Not really. I think this is one of the strongest divisions. I mean, it's not as good as the AFC North, but I like it better than the AFC South. I certainly like it better than the AFC West.
You hear it when they talk